What's happening, y'all? This is Todd Wilson with another episode of Elevate Your Game. Today, we have father, former pro, Hall of Famer, #1 leading scorer at Cal all time, and now a teacher, a developer on the court, entrepreneur as well, Mr. Jerome Randle.
What's going on, bro? How you?
Man, I'm feeling unlimited. Feeling unlimited.
Talk to me, man. Don't start that,
man. We
Talk
got to, man. Man, been a long time. Been trying to get you on the show, man. I'm so excited to have you here today. We almost been spending the whole day together, and so it's gonna be great to have you here. We like to start the show off with the wall of hoop movies. Your favorite hoop movie of all time and why?
I would have to go with Space Jam. I mean, I'm a Chicago kid. I mean, everybody know, the GOAT is, MJ to me. So I mean, I grew
LeBron James.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I mean, everybody have they guy, but being a Chicago guy and people not understanding that during the time when MJ was in Chicago, the crime dropped.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, people really loved the culture of basketball during the time that MJ was there. You get what I mean? So. Yeah. It was a lot going on during the time, a lot of job opportunities, once MJ was in town. When he was playing, man, everybody was in the house, like, watching MJ, you know what I'm saying? So, MJ is just not the GOAT to me because of everything he done on the court, but, everything that he was able to do for Chicago without even trying.
That's dope. The impact is crazy.
Yeah.
I read something that the Saints were 2-0, and for a 14-day stretch, it was the first time that nobody was killed in New Orleans.
Dope.
Because they were winning, so that same impact. I didn't know that
it's
about
MJ, baby. MJ all day.
No, that's dope, man. So when did you fall in love with basketball?
The moment I was able to peek out of my mom's womb, I knew that's when I knew that's when it was, man. But my dad was a hooper, man. My dad was a serious legend in Chicago. So, I mean, he put the basketball in my hands, and I was always around the game of basketball, no matter what, even as a kid, going to watch him play, from each hood, every park, what I'm saying, playing against, because back in the day growing up, that's when, outside basketball was like, legendary. Yep. You get what I mean? And my dad was one of those guys that was on a whole nother level. They used to call him Otto, what I'm saying, because his shot was just automatic. So, yeah, man, it was who I was. I didn't have a plan B because I knew what my plan A was.
Man, that's dope. So from birth, man, I think it's always amazing when your parents can influence you to do something right away, because that's what the doctors do. That's what the lawyers do, right? You see those kids who are legacies in those places. We can do that in sports, and some people are like, oh, you have to have it. Like you said, there's no plan B for you, and this has been a part of your life, and it's carried you through life probably ever since.
100%. That's what LeBron is doing right now.
Right,
what I'm saying?
right.
Which is amazing to me.
Absolutely.
So.
And so in that, initial development stage in your youth, what were the major points of influence that like got you to the next level, just as far as you developing your own skill?
I would have to say, good question. My upbringing. Dad and my mom separated when I was young. And so I always loved the game of basketball, but once he left, it instilled something in me that was just unexplainable on the basketball court. Like, I couldn't really explain why I was so passionate. You know what I'm saying? It was almost like I was trying to fight for his approval in a way. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, how dare you not be here type situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? So every time I stepped on the basketball court, my opponent really didn't understand how personal it was. And then as life started, to go on, it started to be getting more and more personal because of the experiences that continue to happen throughout my life.
Experiences?
Yeah, experiences, like a lot of experiences, a lot of, I would say trauma or, just like obstacles that just continue to just be thrown in my direction. You know what I'm saying? I use basketball as my scapegoat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no, a lot of people talk about the Chicago streets and how tough they can be sometimes, growing up and all that stuff. And so you said, is basketball the thing that kept you away from that, or was it, parts of your life where you were experiencing both at the same time?
Basketball definitely kept me away from it because it was around me so much. You get what I mean? Like you see, I remember literally seeing a guy get his brains blowed out. You know what I'm saying? So when you living in Chicago, you growing up in, on the south side of Chicago, like it's so many things that happen that will traumatize any kid. You know what I'm saying? And I've had certain experiences that put me in that mind, that mindset that like, damn, like I need to find a way to get up out of here. But it's also a situation where you can get so wrapped up in what's going on that you become your surroundings. And at one point I was that kid that was getting in trouble and doing all type of, dumb things. You get what I mean? But I've had someone step up in the absence of the person who I needed to be there. I had a lot of people step up during that time. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Who were those people, and what age did you experience this? And then who were those people who helped you along that way?
So when I was 9 or 10 years old, I remember just being on the playground. During this time, we actually could play basketball outside. You get what I mean?
Right.
It wasn't always like that, but we didn't have a gym to go to. We had crates in the alley, on the light poles, that we would. And people don't understand what crates are, man. It's little square, things that, so I was playing, I was outside hooping. And this lady, she came and she saw me, working out and destroying these kids. I was a different type of animal when I was 9 years old, bro. And she came over and she was like, boy, you got some game. You got to understand this woman, Miss Foster, her name is Lauren Foster, is like, I get emotional when I talk about her because she was the first person who loved me, outside of my mother and my family. Like she was the one who like really took a liking into me and the person that I was. You get what I'm saying? So I was seeking some type of male figure in my life because my dad wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? And she didn't have to be a man to show me that. She actually really, truly, genuinely cared. You know what I'm saying? And so she changed my life from 9 years old on up to right now. I talk to her every day. Wow. And what she done for me is the reason why I'm so passionate about the next generation, because she didn't have to do what she did. So, and she's still right now, I don't want to get her age wrong, but she's pretty old. She still trains kids right now today.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so what did she do for you initially? What was those first steps of someone coming in and filling that void?
Yeah.
I think God sends people in your lives at just the right time because he wants us to depend on him. And then he sends somebody to uplift us and bring us through. What did she do for you in that time?
Number one, she got me away from my neighborhood. Neighborhood wasn't like bad during the time. It wasn't terrible. We had, green grass and we had an actual block, you know what I'm saying? But it was a lot of things around that was pretty dangerous as well. But I was only playing for my school team. I didn't know about AAU, or during the time it was called small fry. When you're 9 years old, it was called small fry. So when she saw me on the basketball court, in the playground, she was like, I want you to come play for my team. And so from that point on, she was able to take me away from everything that was going on. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And so she took me, I remember she took me to the Pro-Am. During the time in Chicago, the Pro-Am.
Crazy.
Another level. So they used to have these halftime shows where you allowed the 9, 10-year-old kids to come out there and put on a show. And I remember, going, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was so packed, man. During that time, the Pro-Ams was another level. She said, I want you to go out there and I want you to do your thing. And you see everybody walking away from the game, going to the concession stands. And all you hear is, oh, yo, like everybody going crazy because, you got this little 9-year-old big head kid, going out there putting on a show. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that right there was like that light bulb moment for me. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it was like, damn, all I can think about is an innocent kid that someone did something for me. And so now my heart was like totally with her. Like I could not get away from her because I was still trying to fill that void of my father not being there, and she was the first person who came into my life and like really showed me that she cared and loved me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
Is there, so now, since you experienced that when you train and you're connected with kids now, how much of her impact does that have on how you connect with these kids?
Man, it's a great question. It's everything. Everything has to do with her. She's the reason why I don't have like a selfish bone in my body, like when it comes to people. I'm actually still a little kid, like with my heart. I can't, like I always overthink about people. And I think that might be the worst thing about me and the best thing about me. But when I see a young kid who's actually going through something, they don't even have to tell me that they're going through it. Because I can just read their body language. Yeah. I can read how they can't focus on the game and always doing this, looking over to their parents. You get what I mean? So I guess my experiences of growing up the way that I did, God is literally giving me that type of gift to just see that for whatever reason. And so it's easy for me to connect because I've been them. I've been all of these youngsters. I mean, it don't matter what type of level, I've been exactly what you guys are going through. I know what that feels like. You get what I'm saying? So she's the reason why I'm able to look outside of myself and focus and love and care for the next generation.
That's dope.
Yeah.
No, I think that's what it's all about at the end of the day, especially as coaches who, these kids, like, they just look up to us, man, because they think we know everything and we've been where they're trying to go and all that, that we reciprocate that over and over and even teach them how to do that, right? Yeah. Teach them how, hey, when you come up, you got to do the same thing I'm doing.
The worst thing about that is that I feel like trainers and developers, we're like pastors. When you look at the church have the entire community to come in and listen to a word. The moment we sign up to be a trainer or a developer, we have people's lives in our hand. We have these kids' lives in our hand. And I feel like a lot of people are not taking on the responsibility of being a teacher. Yeah. You get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Don't sign up for this shit if you're not willing to help these kids in other ways. Yeah. Because when you're young and you're impressionable and you want something out of life, bro, it starts young. And if, Todd, I see you and I see all these other trainers, like these kids, they listen to us more than they listen to their parents. Yep. So we have a different type of obligation to help them in different ways, bro. Mm-hmm. And I'm so blessed to even be in this situation, and that's the reason why I don't take it for granted, because I know what Ms. Foster did for me, and I have to give that back out to the world. So anyone who's on the court with me, like, it's a different type of love and respect, because I'm gonna show them each and every day, like, how much I care. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not gonna be easy on them. That's not who I don't come from that. You know, I'm not gonna baby you, like, but I know how to break you down and build you up and show you I love you and care. You get what I mean? Yep. But the only how they can listen to me is if I done established a relationship with them, so they know that it's coming from a good place. You get what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. No, that's profound. That is profound, man. Yeah. And I hope you weak trainers hear that this ain't no money grab. This ain't for you to get, be an influencer, man. It's way deeper for the real ones who are out here doing it for the right reasons, man. So, he talking to y'all weak dudes. I am talking to you, man. Awesome, man. So when did the basketball take a jump, right? 9 years old, you probably faster than everybody. You're committed to this game. You're playing with this chip on your shoulder or something bigger. When did you meet real competition? Right away. Right away. Chicago, listen to me, man. At 19 years old, the level how we played the game of basketball during that time was like grown-ups. It wasn't normal. We had rivalries. Small fry basketball, if you ever look it up, It's like baby AAU. Like, and we knew most of the guys that we were playing against, but every hood had a small frat team.
Oh wow.
It was different. It was another level. And so as much as we respected the guys that we knew, like we hated each other at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? And I remember playing on one team. I got too old for Miss Foster team, so I went with another team, and you know I was feeling a way about what was going on with it. I think my mom had got me off the team, but I remember being on the basketball court. It's a true story. I think I was like 10, 11 at the time, and as the game about to start, the police came in and took me off the court and said that kid can't play. Because during the time you couldn't jump from one team to the next.
Why they send the police?
I have no idea.
No, okay.
It's like that kid can't play. Now mind you taking like my childhood away. Like I don't want to play for this team because it was some other stuff going on, not competition, because I was really good at the time, but they took me off of the court and told me that I couldn't play. So now mind you, I don't have a team. I do not have a basketball team. I can't play, in small fry. And there was a guy who had a team called And One. And he saw me and he was like, I'm gonna create your own team. So I want you to go to your hood and get all of your friends, and then I'm gonna create a team for you. And so that's how things started to continue, during the time that I moved from one team. I have to ask my mom exactly what happened, but yeah, and the team was And One, and I had all of my guys from the neighborhood to come and play on the team.
Dope.
It was another level. And so that level of competition was different, man, because we traveled all over, you know what I'm saying? All over Chicago, different parts of Illinois, you know what I'm saying? We was playing against, high level competition. I mean, basketball was another level during that time, man. Yeah. We went to Florida to play in, the biggest tournaments, you know what I'm saying?
The
Disney.
AAU Nationals.
Yeah, it was different.
Yeah.
It was different, bro. It was a different level. I miss those times. I think kids need to experience that.
Yeah.
No,
some of them do, and it's watered down now, right? Mm-hmm. Just because there's in the Valley alone, I think there's a stat, there are like almost 1,000 club teams just in the San Fernando Valley itself. And so the competition level is not as high, right? Because everybody's playing for their dad or whoever they're playing for.
Yeah.
And but the higher level teams do get to travel a little bit now. But I understand that authentic feeling of like those jerseys up there. That's our club team in the Inland Empire.
Nice.
2 teams at the time.
Nice.
That was it. Like nobody else, because you weren't good enough. But it was an honor to be on those teams, to go and play against those other people. Yeah. And like you saying, like kids now is like, oh yeah, no, I could do that. My dad's about to buy a team, and we gonna just go do that. Like, and actually, instead of actually building it around somebody who's good, and all that. So, flowing through that middle school, late elementary, middle school phase, and then getting ready for high school. Yeah. So how did you prepare for high school? What was that situation like, and where did you end up going for high school?
Man. So the guy that I'm talking about, his name is Donzel Starks. He was the guy. Remember I told you the life experiences. Mm-hmm. Every time something happened, it was another person who stepped up. I was older, so I couldn't play with Miss Foster no more, but she was still there. So she moved me to a team where she felt comfortable with me playing. But like I said, I ended up going to another team, which was And One. My grades were terrible. So I wasn't doing good in school, some things going on at home that I don't wish to talk about or whatever the case is, but I was not doing good in school at the time. And so Donzel Starks is very successful. He owned damn near all of the movie theaters in Chicago. Black man, well respected, and he told me that if I didn't get my grades right, then I couldn't play basketball. And so My mom and him teamed up and basically told me that, and had my sister, my older sister, on deck, that if he touches a basketball, like his ass is getting in trouble. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's because my grades wasn't good, when I was a little younger. You know what I'm saying? I was acting up. You get what I mean? So this is a guy who's well educated, and he did not play. He did not play. So he changed the team from and1, the name is and1, to fundamentally sound. Because everything that I was doing during the time, like, I let my team down. So, when my grades came back, my mom told me, I'm thinking I'm going to practice. And he was sitting right there in front of everybody. He was like, "This is y'all leader. He let you guys down." Deadly. It was deadly.
So what was your emotion? I know you remember it. I know you probably remember it like it was yesterday. So
listen to me, man. Like, because all I wanted to do was play basketball. I didn't care about nothing. I wanted to get away from the house where I was so I can just go to the court. I look forward to after school so I can just go to practice. So that was the highlight of my day. You get what I'm saying? So my focus wasn't on school. Like, fuck school. I'm trying to go play basketball. You get what I mean? But once again, those life experiences, someone else stepped up at the time where I needed him to show me what was very important. Yeah. And he let me know that your education is really important. And so when you look at the life changes and everything that was going on, damn, I never really even thought about it like that, man. Like, he was the guy during the time to put me in the mindset of just caring about school and how I, talk to people, how I shake hands and all these different things. And now the entire team is fundamentally sound, and it was the shirt was like these little two, what they call them, little weighing things where you can weigh it.
The scale.
And he had a book on one, and he had a basketball on the other. Wow. But the basketball was slightly here, and the book was there. And that was the shirt. Yeah, man, he changed my life, man. He changed my life. And he went to this high school called Hills Franciscan. It was an all-boys school, all black, all-boys school. And I was not trying to go to all-boys school, high school.
Right.
But he convinced my mom to send me to all-boys school, high school.
Did you appreciate it after?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I hated it when I got there, but when you're young and immature and you don't really understand or know anything, you don't know what someone's plan is for you. I didn't know, because that's not what I cared about. Like, I cared about something totally different. Like, I wanted to go to Morgan Park or Whitney Young and all those different type of high schools because I felt like the level basketball was where I needed to be. Yeah. But I was going straight to Hills. I had to wear a tie every day. You get what I mean? So he was preparing me to be a businessman at an early age. You get what I mean? And God rest his soul, he was very, very special to me. He helped me. He helped me to really mold me into the man that I am today. But that's level 2. You know what I'm saying? There's so many different levels of people, man. Like, but he was that next level,
I have to ask, going back to someone who wasn't motivated to do their homework and do classwork, and your mom and your coach did the right thing by just taking the game away. Yeah. It is, I tell parents all the time, they're like, oh, he's not doing this, they're not doing that. Take the game away, especially before high school. Yeah. How would you tell, first off, what would you tell that kid? What would you tell that parent to tell that kid who was you to get it right?
Just think about it. We play this game every day and we put our bodies on the line. It's a risk. We can get injured, life-ending, situations. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not life, but, career-ending. If the game is taken away from you, you got to figure something out. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me to experience that at a young age, it was already instilled in my mind that I needed to, handle my business, because basketball is number 2. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I can't even get to college if my grades are not right.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But I think the problem with the parents right now today, they're afraid to challenge their kids. They are more important than their kids. And that's the problem. You get what I mean? Like, they yelling at games and, you know what I'm saying? Other than giving themselves a little more credit to say, listen, I raised him right. I raised her right. Mm-hmm. Let me sit back and assess and see how they handle the tough things that's going on the basketball court. Now let's talk about it once we get in the car. Because psychologically, like, I know when I hear my mother's voice, I gotta listen.
Yes.
But as a basketball player who was very successful in the game, I know that I have to lock in and not think about nothing nobody else is saying, but what's going on in front of me and my coaches and my teammates. If I'm focusing on somebody that's outside of these lines, I will never be great like I need to be. You get what I mean? So for me, school, academics is always going to be important, because for you to take that next step into your career, you must, handle your business in the classroom. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's only if the school system is right. Your parents know what's the most important thing. Because at the end of the day, once you get the money, you got to learn how to, save it. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we have to learn, and, I appreciate the people that's helped me, for stage 2.
No, that's dope. Is there anything else important about stage 2 that you think was pivotal or that set you up for high school and stage 3, that next level?
He was he let me know what family was. I mean, that was probably the first person I've seen with a wife. Had a wife. Had a nice home, nice career, amazing son, who's my little brother right now today. And sleeping in a little small hallway for all of those years. With me and my brothers and sisters, where people were like stepping over us to get to their rooms. We were all sleeping on the floor. And so I didn't know how visual I was at a young age, because once I saw his house, once I saw his family, it was already instilled in my mind that that's what I wanted. You get what I mean? And so when you're in those environments, you don't know that you're struggling. I didn't think that we were struggling. I thought that shit was as normal as possible. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I'm in a house, but I'm sleeping on the floor with my 2 little brothers, and my sisters, and, my mom is in that same hallway. You get what I mean? So it didn't even matter to us, but seeing him and how successful he was, put me in the mindset of okay, this is how things can be. You know what I'm saying? If you work hard, if you handle your business in school, so all the visual things that, was put in front of me, gave me something to look forward to, you know what I'm saying? And I was able to look forward to getting out of those, situations and work hard. So, stage 2 was different for me because I just had someone else step up to just make me see things differently during that time. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was it.
Do you believe it was because of who you were, right? And not just because of your basketball skill, but all of who you were, that these people were stepping up?
It has to be. You have to show someone something. You get what I mean? I don't know too many people unless me. I'm serious, bro. Mom could tell you, bro, I will pull over and do for people. If I have it, I don't feel like I have to keep it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially if I know I can help you. If I know I can help you, I'm going to help you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So of course they saw something in me and they wanted to help me, but I could have been an asshole. I could have been, you know, all these different type of things, but I also was a kid that they saw who actually needed the help.
Yeah.
I needed it. I didn't have my dad. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, I was struggling. Like, not having him around. I was an angry ass kid. You couldn't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't take constructive criticism well, but that's because of the hurt and pain that I was going through. Like, I was going through some serious trauma, you know what I'm saying? But didn't know it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I think a lot of kids are going through that right now today, and they don't know it. They don't know it.
What should they be doing now? Since you know it now, right? You're reflecting on it. But if a kid is going through that now, what should they do?
They need a Miss Foster. They need a Donzel Starks. They need a Todd. They need a Jerome Randle. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Parents have to be okay with just dropping their sons off at the gym and just leaving. Just get out of there. Give your son or your daughter an hour from themselves to not listen to you. Like, I don't think they understand how important that is. It's very important. It always have been. You know what I'm saying? The challenges that you give your kids off the court will always help them on the court. If you're picking up after your kid each and every day, that means they lazy. They're gonna be lazy on the court. If they complain about everything at home, they're gonna complain about everything on the court. Yep. If you let people push you around off the court, they're gonna push your ass around on the court. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't have the mindset of being a competitor, then you're not gonna compete on the court as well. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So basketball to me has always been life. Basketball is life. You know what I'm saying? And I try to tell, you know, certain parents, one of the parents asked me, he was like, Jerome, why is my son not as tough as you? I said, you don't know me. You don't know where I come from. Like, you have no idea what goes on, what went through my mind during the time. Like, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. But she's the nicest person, like one of the nicest moms I know. And all she wants to do is just love on her son. But I'm like, listen, it has to be different. You got to challenge him. He has no challenges off the court. So how do you expect him to even be tough on the court?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can still have, like, and understand, my coach, stage 2, Donzel Starks had everything, but his son, a straight animal. You would think he was from where I was from. That's because he didn't give him anything.
How do you do that, right? You're a parent with resources.
Yep.
And you saying he didn't give him anything. What do you mean by not give him anything?
Okay, you walk in his room, this kid got he has a locker room in his bedroom. He has a movie theater. He has everything, right? In that way. But when it came to basketball, oh man, he did not play. He did not play. Clean up your room. Well, no maids clean up your room. Handle your business. You get what I'm saying? And if you don't, boom, we going outside, we running. And it wasn't a punishment, but they would go outside and run all the time anyway. He made sure that he was tough on him each and every day. So my little brother, Amar Starks, he's doing the same thing that I'm doing right now. But understand, like, it's all just coming around, man, with just those people. They know their calling, man. God has put us in positions to teach. His dad has been tremendous, you know, as a person, that helped him, and he helped me. And so now he's doing the same exact thing. But those challenges off the court, you know, put him in a position where he was a dog. Yeah. He was a dog.
So you're telling, don't take the not necessarily the material resources, right?
Yeah.
You can live in a certain way, but you can still teach them mentally, give them those mental struggles, because first you want them to experience those when they're protected, where you can still, you know, help them and guide them through, because they're going to learn it one way or the other when they become an adult and not know how to manage that.
Yeah, because it's like, if you have the resources right now, what I see today is, I'm who I am. I have a name as a parent. I have money. If things go wrong with my son or my daughter, I'm going to use my resources to get them out of that situation. Bad. You're not preparing them for life, because that's not how life goes.
Yeah.
I would tell my son, I'm blessed enough to have a son, figure it out. Figure it out. Coach yelling at you, okay, figure it out. Life is gonna throw you so many curveballs, son. Like, dude, you will be okay. I'm not gonna let no one mistreat you. I'm not gonna let nobody hurt you. But I'm definitely not about to be there trying to, push you around. And I'm not doing that. I'm not about to baby you. I'm not doing that. You can use your mom for that. You get what I'm saying? I want to prepare you for life as a young man. You get what I'm saying? And that's what Coach did with Ahmad. You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's dope. I think that's important for families to hear, especially the ones that we deal with in this valley. It's like, oh, they have the resources, but you got to let them go through adverse times to create the character and the resilience they need to make it in this game, for one, right? If it's going to be all about basketball, like, ain't nobody handing out college scholarships. No. What? No. So moving on to high school.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that high school was just easy peasy for you. Right. Talk about it.
High school wasn't easy peasy for me at all because I had some real dogs on my high school team.
Anybody we know?
With senior year, JaVale McGee came.
Okay.
But it was some Chicago legends, man. Nate Manoy, Mike Robinson, Blake Kraft, guys you guys wouldn't know, but well respected in Chicago. Jeff Wilson, Austin, Shannon. I had some, and my best friend, Darian McKinstry, like my heart. Was easily like, this dude was amazing, man. My best friend was another level. Like, people did not want him guarding him. Like, he had the best defense I've ever seen of any human being. And he was just fearless. But it's childhood, that's us. Going through those neighborhoods and beating up on everybody, on the court. That's just who he was. But I was doubted as soon as I stepped on in the high school. You know what I'm saying? And we had freshman team, sophomore team, no JV team, and varsity. So freshman team, sophomore team, or varsity. I played the sophomore off my first year. Tried out for varsity, didn't make it. I was crushed. Because in my mind, once again, I'm from Chicago. I'm mad. I was like, I'm better than him for sure, but I didn't make it. So we went the entire year without losing the game for off, and they brought me up to varsity at the end of the year.
Your mom didn't go to the school and then talk to the coach and make sure that you was on varsity.
Man, my mom wasn't saying anything. Like, my mom, dude, I can't even lie to you. I barely came home to even talk to my mom about basketball. I'm not even gonna lie to you. She's gonna ask, did you do your homework? I think she already knew my greatness. And I will never, undermine my greatness because I do believe that I'm great. But at the end of the day, she knew the son that she had. She did not have to worry about me. She did not. She didn't have to worry about me waking up and working out. She didn't have to worry about me going and getting in trouble because all I wanted to do is play basketball. So the trust that I was able to show my mom that I was serious about something, she did not have to worry about me. And I think that's what's going on. Parents don't trust their kids. But the kids never showed their parents that they can't trust them either. So if your mom have to tell you to wake up every single day to go work out or your dad got to do it, then why would they trust you?
Man, I tell parents that once they turn 14, 15, if they're not
It's
asking
over.
you to work out,
It's over.
you wasting your money.
Yeah.
You wasting your
It's
time.
over.
Like, you trying to, tell them to go pick up some other thing.
Yeah.
It's okay to be a musician or play the piano or paint
do that,
or whatever
man.
you want to do. Like, don't do this hoop thing.
And be great at that.
There are kids in the gym at 6 a.m. doing what you should be doing.
Yep.
And so, no, I love that. I love that.
And for sure. And so my freshman year, man, we won a state championship.
Wow.
And I was that little kid that was front page of the newspaper after winning the state championship. because I went down to Peoria and went crazy. Like I tore it up. That was probably one of the most memorable moments, of my life. Because understand, I looked up to the guys that were on varsity. I thought they all were like just all world. Gerard Haynes, like he was a different type of, junior guard to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's another level, another, person that I've seen work out in high school. That dude was in there before high school, before class. And then at lunchtime, he's going in the gym and he putting up shots. Now, mind you, I'm, who the fuck this dude think he is? Like, but I'm actually taking notes.
Yeah.
So I was able to learn the proper way of working out because of him, because I saw him doing it. And mind you, I'm a freshman. I was mad that I didn't make the varsity team, but he's killing, he's doing his thing. But then I'm seeing what he's doing every day. This dude is in there before school, and at lunchtime, he's in the gym.
Wow.
So I'm not just looking, I'm taking notes. I have to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How am I gonna learn to be an ultimate professional or a great basketball player who's disciplined if I don't learn it from somebody? You get what I mean? I envied that because I wanted his spot. But I also learned from him, and he knew about it, and we talked about it, and he helped me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Did you guys, were you in AAU your freshman year? Did you do AAU in the summer?
Oh, for sure, man.
Who was you with? Tell me about that, man. See, the smile lets me know it's always great experiences.
Boy.
AAU. Talk to me.
Derrick Rose, just that name alone. D Rose, man. That was my dog. This is, obviously you guys understand his career and how great he was. Is. Not was, is. He was great since he was in 7th grade.
You guys the same class?
No, he's a year younger.
Got you.
So, as great as he was, man, like he had to play up. He destroyed his age group, boom, he come up, he played with us. And it was just a different type of level, bro. Like people don't even understand how we used to destroy people. But we was also in the gym at 11 o'clock at night, every night playing one-on-one full courts.
Dang.
And it was all of us, all of our guys, our crew. We going to the gym at nighttime. You know how easy it was for us to get caught up in the streets of Chicago? Man, we was going to the gym. We didn't want that action. We wasn't like that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We had some homies that, was killed in the process, you know what I'm saying, went to jail, just lost it. But we made it our business to stay in the gym. You get what I mean? Yeah. And that AAU process of when he was, on our team, the name of our team was called Ferrari. That's because we was just, like he did not, our coach, Tyrone Slaughter, did not allow us to walk the ball up the floor. Like if you walking the ball up the floor, like you sitting down. I don't care if they scored. We had to push the ball up the floor every single time. So that's the reason why I was always in shape, you know what I'm saying? Always pushing it down somebody, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it was. Because it was instilled in me to be that way at a young age. You get what I mean? And so AAU was, man, it was, dude, that's another step, another level, bro. It was dope. It was dope. And shout out to D Rose, because I don't think right now he gets enough credit that he deserves. Like his greatness is always gonna be, top level to me because I know where he come from, and I actually know how much people really hated to play against him.
I've heard that who was telling me about when they played D Rose. Somebody was on this show and they were like, we played D Rose and he gave me buckets. I cannot remember who it was, but
different, bro.
Yeah.
Different.
Man, there's something, y'all got, kids from Chicago have a different fast twitch.
Yeah.
Where does that come from? What is that?
Streets, man. I've been putting up videos on Instagram. People like, man, that looked like D Rose. I'm like, bro, everything that we were doing, it was the same, but he was bigger, more athletic. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you see me, you see him. It's too many similarities. I was a better shooter. You know what I'm saying? Same speed. He was athletic. He had a burst on him that was just unreal.
Yeah.
And he was fearless.
Where did that come from though? Like literally, I know a dude who was in the NFL. Him and his cousins, like 3 of them, all made the NFL. They used to chase rabbits. They're from Florida. What did y'all do? What was y'all chasing rabbits?
No, we weren't chasing nothing, bro. We was chasing getting the hell out them neighborhoods.
He was running from
So
something.
we was probably running from something. So if you right there in my way, I got to get around you as fast as possible. We was curving bullshit. We was curving obstacles. We was curving gunplay. We was curving, you know what I'm saying? Like gangs as much as we can.
Yeah.
So now having a conversation with you is more so those movement patterns was us getting away from all the bullshit that we had to go through in Chicago. And it was done in a different style.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
just done in a different style. I mean, I can go down a line of just point guards who all had that fast twitch. It's with a lot of passion and aggression. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just different. It's just a different type of, it's like New York. New York got their style, but it's from their upbringings and where they come from too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. So did you make varsity as a sophomore?
I was there.
Okay.
I was definitely there. I was there for sure. Now, but I did not. Did I start? No, I didn't start. I did not start. Bro, I had some killers, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? But no doubt in my mind, I was trying to leave and go to another school. You get what I mean? Because I knew that I was getting on the court. Like, I knew that I was gonna make a difference once I got on the court.
Yeah.
So it was never in my mind to be like, man, I don't like this situation. I'm leaving. That's a sign of weakness to me. I couldn't fathom that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I knew at some point they knew how great I was. So me coming off the bench, playing alongside Gerard Haynes, bro, why would I be mad? You know, I was mad, but yo, I know that I was getting on the court and I'm about to go and get busy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and our school was a powerhouse. You know what I'm saying? It was a powerhouse.
So did you get any more state championships?
Yeah, we did. So sophomore year, we was definitely supposed to win, but they disqualified us to even compete
Because
they said that I was illegally recruited
But you were a sophomore already.
as an 8th grader.
You were playing high school as well?
No. What they said is that they did research and said they illegally recruited me to come to Hales Franciscan.
Because your mentor,
Yeah.
was it illegal?
No.
Like
It's like you can't be mad at someone. It's almost like I meet you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I have a son who's in 8th grade. So you mean tell me you can't say, hey man, I think this school would be a good idea for him. Like good. You know what I'm saying?
So they disqualified the
They
whole
disqualified us.
So y'all didn't even get to. Did you
We
guys
didn't even
get
get
to
to
compete in the playoffs?
compete. No. Like it was over with. We were for sure winning that. Nobody could beat us, bro. Like we was another level. Junior year, won it. I was starting as a junior. We won it again. Senior year, JaVale McGee came. And, you know, we just talked about this 3 days ago. And so it just ended up being a situation where it was a missed assignment down the stretch that cost us to go downstate.
Who'd you guys lose to?
I don't remember the team. The play is actually on YouTube. I saw it, so I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna post it so JaVale can. So
Great to make sure we
so
get that.
JaVale can see that I was very serious about that play. We were so mad, man, because we was really good, and JaVale was good too. Like he was really good during the time. So
Dope. So you got things on a path to where you were getting out of the situation you were in, right? You kind of talked about it. You ended up at Cal, the #1 public university, arguably. UCLA is really #1, but we'll say for this,
Okay.
#1 public, #2.
we'll talk about that shit after this, all right?
And my dad went to UCLA, so I got got to rep.
No, that's all
And how did your recruitment process go? How did Cal come along, and why did you choose Cal?
Recruiting process was nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking.
Why?
I wasn't highly recruited. I didn't go to any Nike camps, any Adidas camps. I wasn't invited. I was top 100, but I never went to any camps. So I think the summer of my junior year was AU. I went on a tear. Like it was unreal. I don't even know if I've played, even right now today, I don't know if I've played better basketball like that, during that time, because we didn't have Instagram, like we didn't have anything. The only thing we had was this old little laptop computer that they would post what schools were interested, in the player. And we was at the biggest, AAU tournament in Florida, the Disney, Worldwide Disney tournament. Was like maybe 600 teams, maybe, like, you know what I'm saying? And man, I went crazy. Like I went nuts. And they always had this other tournament before the big tournament. And we ended up losing to a Chicago team. And our rivalry team in Chicago in high school was the Chicago Jaguars. We knew all of those guys. Out of 500, 600 teams, the two teams who made it to championship was the two Chicago teams. Listen, I don't think you understand the type of intensity, like the high level intensity and just toughness. It was crazy. We ended up winning. And Cal was there. They saw, those games that I played. But I was getting recruited by all mid-majors, man. I wasn't having it. Like I didn't want to go. I'm like, dude, I'm better than this dude, that dude. Like, I'm not accepting these offers. I don't want them. I had like 19 offers of like Dayton and Ball State, and I'm like, man, get that up out of here.
Wow. I love the confidence.
No, that's
I
the
just like
confidence
if you're advising a kid now who has those type of offers.
I can't advise you to do what I did because my mindset was different.
Okay.
I bet on me.
Yeah.
I bet on Jerome. Like, you get what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I knew that at some point I was gonna get the school that I wanted. I knew it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I wasn't willing to just jump on any scholarship like that. You get what I mean? And Cal came around. I wanted to go to Illinois though. I was the biggest D Brown fan.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was D Brown and Darren Williams and Luther Head. Like, man, I wanted to be like D Brown. And I'm like, dude, I want to go to Illinois. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, the baddest dude in Chicago was Sharon Collins.
Yeah, I heard they try to get Sharon to take your spot on the team.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
Ooh. So I just ran into my coach, my AAU coach. So I'm gonna talk about it on live, Coach Slaughter. This is a story that was told that I held a grudge for. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I held a grudge. Me and my best friend Darren McKinstry that I was telling you about, playing AAU. We were trying to get the Nike contract. Now, mind you, D Rose went to play for Mean Streets, so we were trying to get the Nike contract, but Sharon was being followed and Nike wanted him. So they brought him over. Now this is something that I feel would help a lot of kids. I knew how good this dude was. I can't hold it. He was another level. He was basically everything that we were really trying to be. That's how good he was. He was able to play in the pro-ams in high school. I wasn't able to play in the pro-ams in high school. And he wasn't just playing. He was dominating. He was another level, bro. So word got around that Sharon is coming to Ferrari. And so I remember going to see my boy D. I say, D, you heard Sharon coming to the team? He say, so? He said, he gonna have to see us. I'm like, I'm already on this type of time, but if you don't know D, Darren McKinstry, we ain't never called. If you don't know D, he did not care about nothing. He's ready for war whenever. I mean, strap up, he ready. Dude, he came to practice. Now, mind you, we like pissed because these are like our fathers. These coaches are like our dads. These are like our mentors. We've been around them since we were kids and we got to AAU. So in our mind, we like, how dare y'all bring somebody here to replace your sons? This is how I'm taking it. Like, you get what I mean? And so that practice was probably the best practice ever, bro. We went at him and he was coming right back. It got so competitive that they had to put all of us on the same team. But the reason why I'm saying this is because never for once did we think about leaving the team. If you believe in your ability to be good, great, whatever you call yourself, why do you feel like you have to without giving it a shot of showing everyone that you're better than whoever it is that they're trying to put in front of you? Now, I'm not saying politics don't play a part, but kids leave before they even figure out if they can, fight for that spot. Kids don't want to fight for spots. They want things handed to them. I'm supposed to get this start. No, you don't. I didn't supposed to get anything that I got. I had to earn it. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And kids right now, they don't want to earn it, but it goes back to stage one. Just not being able to fight, or you don't, parents are not putting your kids in positions to really, really fight for things, or you know what I'm saying? Everything is handed to them. So if it's given to you off the court, the moment you face that adversity, what you think they're gonna do? They're gonna run. Yep. Or their parents gonna step in like they do, like we all see. We jump into this team.
Y'all end up playing together though.
Right.
And I'm sure smacking everybody. And the rest is KU, Cal, the rest is history.
You get what I mean? And so, oh yeah, man, it was like that. So the AU circuit. So he ended up playing one tournament with us, and it was dope, bro. We played against Jeremy Pargo and a legend from Chicago, Angel Santiago, winning 4 overtimes.
Yo, Angel Santiago.
You remember
bro.
Angel Santiago?
What? That boy was cold.
Angel Santiago, bro.
He was cold, man.
You remember Angel Santiago?
I don't know why, but I used to watch his stuff.
Yo,
man,
Angel Santiago was a killer, bro. Yeah. So we were young and we played against Pargo. Pargo, like my brother. We went at it, man. We went at it, but he ended up going into the Illinois Wolves. And I just talked to Sharon, and he told me that he didn't even want to lead a team. His high school coach made him leave. He wanted to stay on the team with us. We just had this conversation.
Where did he go? Where did he play?
He went to another Chicago team called Illinois Wolves.
Okay, okay.
You know, and I'm like, damn, for real. He was like, bro, I didn't want to leave. He was like, that was a different type of vibe. I'm like, that's crazy. It was crazy.
No, because the person you were competing with was probably y'all together, on the same team as.
But he didn't feel threatened by us, and we didn't feel threatened by him.
Yep.
I can't be a basketball player and feel threatened by another basketball player, and a lot of these kids feel threatened by people that they're competing with.
Because they ain't working. They ain't putting. They don't have the confidence because they're not putting. Confidence comes from putting the work in and knowing that you're good.
And if you want to be a role player, then cool. You probably never need to feel threatened by somebody. But the way that a lot of kids carry themselves, that they want to be the it. They want to be the person. Mm-hmm. So in order to be the person, that guy, you could never feel threatened by somebody. Mm-hmm. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Because you got to go into a different psyche, bro. Your mindset got to be totally different. You got to compete with everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? Conversations I call my boy, we ain't talking about nothing else but basketball, bro. We talking about hoop. Yeah. You got to lock into hoop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Y'all, they got too much to talk about. Let's Instagram, this, they that,
You said it this morning when we was working. You said, yo, stop smiling at that man.
Yeah.
Y'all play too much. We on this court, you hate him.
What are we doing?
No,
bro, you not.
You saw me, I can't even, I'm playing against kids. I can't cut it off.
No, bro,
I'm going to compete against you. I don't care how big, small. Where D-Mac kid try to scoop me, I'm like, what? No, we ain't doing that.
It's game time. It's bro,
no, I don't care about none of that.
You got to understand that once you step between those lines, you probably have an hour, 2 hours to really, really lock in and get better.
Yeah.
The moment I notice, I will know as an ultimate competitor, if you think that we cool.
Yeah.
It's how you approach, how you talk, and how you know, like
Right.
you don't want to laugh at me and think that I'm about to take it easy on you. I promise you, if I had one of these mics, when I play basketball, how many guys will come on the court and be like, "Take it easy on me today, Rome." Bro, I can't make this up.
I believe it.
And this is my attitude when they say that.
Yo bad.
Man, take it easy on what? Man, you know where I come from? I'm not taking it easy on nothing. I don't know how to do that. It's not in my nature. Now, we can be cool off the court, but once I step between these lines, you don't know what I come from. You don't know what I've been through. I need this shit. I'm getting high on my own supply. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm getting hot. Like this is my scapegoat. That's the only thing I knew how to escape. I can only escape by being on the court. So I couldn't be cool with you because you don't know why I love it so much. You don't know why I'm so passionate about it. You don't know why I became as great as I was. You know what I'm saying?
Great as you are.
Great as I am. You know what I'm saying?
So, getting through high school, preparing to go to Cal, what were the biggest hurdles through your high school off the court?
I don't know if I really had too many. I think that's when things were a little easier.
A little easier.
Yeah.
So, I may have got some intel.
Okay.
I'm trying to understand the story fully. They told me to ask about a church that you used to go and train at. And that church also was a big part of your life as well.
So that church was more so when I was younger.
Okay, that was
during the
before high
time
school.
where I was with Miss Foster.
Gotcha.
So when me and my brothers and sisters, it was 5 of us, we actually lived in the church for some months. You know, and we once again, man, that was it. We was kicked out, you know, of the house that we were living in. When we were, you know, standing in the hallway, we was living in the hallway, sleeping on the floor. We was kicked out in the middle of the night. And so, you know, my mom, she had to figure it out. You know, I remember, I think, I don't know if we went to the shelter that night, but we went to a motel or a hotel. And one of the ladies there who was at the front desk, she helped us out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And mom was able to buy, you know, some Chinese food. You know, Chinese food during that time was another level. Yep. In Chicago, bro. That Chinese food was hidden. I'm still thinking about it right now. And obviously we couldn't afford to continue to stay in a hotel, you know, so I think we went over a friend's house and we was able to sleep, you know, in their living room, you know, for a little time. And mom's really close friend allowed us to stay in the church, you know. And during the time we were living in the church, I was really heavy into basketball, you know. So as much as I didn't feel like we were struggling, I felt all of the pressure from living in the church because I had to be dropped off there. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think people start to catch on to it. You get what I'm saying? And that's when things have started to become a little embarrassing for me. But if you know Miss Foster, then she's not your typical person. You don't fuck with me. Like, you get what I'm saying? Or whatever happens, like, leave him alone. You get what I'm saying? So she protected me through everything, bro, during that time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, the love that woman has for me right now today is, like, we can't be on the phone without her just crying and just saying that I'm so proud of you. Like, you're great. You know, her question every time we're on the phone, are you happy? I'm like, yeah, Mom, I'm happy. You know, I sent something. she just know me so well because she took the time to just love me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Love the person, not the basketball player. Yeah. She can care less about basketball. The person, Jerome Randle, she knows more than people that should know about me. You know what I'm saying? That's because she's been probably one of the most consistent people in my life. You get what I mean? And so, yeah, man, she protected me during that time. So she had to stop allowing people to drop me off, you know, because it started to, you know, get to me a little bit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Would you take it all back? Like the things that you're talking about doing, like you said, they're traumatizing for a kid, but it's built you to be who you are today. Would you take away the sleeping in the church, the sleeping in the hallway, the, you know, anger you felt, you know, with your dad leaving? Would you take it all away?
I wouldn't take the living situations back at all. But one thing that I wish that I had was my dad. I can't lie to you.
Yeah.
Because it was so many experiences that happened that I felt like I needed him to help me through situations when I had to make decisions, that I felt like with his expertise and how great he was in basketball, that he would have made a better decision for me. And the fact that he wasn't there, I feel like leeches start to come. Like people who was only looking out for themselves, and ultimately it hurt me during the process. So I wouldn't take nothing back but that. That's the only thing that I feel like I really needed at the time, because the living situations, it didn't stop me from doing what I wanted to do, like on the basketball court. Like, I can't take that back because I didn't think that I was struggling. I thought it was what life was supposed to be. You get what I mean? It's almost like kids who live in these crazy, you know, places on different side of the world. That's life for them.
Right.
They're able to maneuver through anything that comes their way. Yep. And that's the most unique thing about life and people. You know what I'm saying? The issue that we face is that when you see another side of life and then you try to compare it, and now you think that your situation is just so effed up. You know what I'm saying? Will ultimately put you in a position where now you get down on yourself and now you start making really bad decisions because you're trying to get to where they are.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? So I didn't feel like I was struggling because I didn't see where nobody else lived. I didn't know where they were going home to. You get what I mean?
Yep. No, thank you for sharing that, man. Yeah. I appreciate it. So moving on to college. So Cal, did you get to go on a visit? How'd the recruitment process work? You're a Hall of Famer now, so.
I don't even know if I can share that visit story, man.
Oh, maybe not.
Jesus.
So you went on a visit.
I went on a visit.
And you had a great time.
A wonderful time.
It was like he got game.
Yes.
All right, cool. We understand. All right.
It was probably just like he got game.
Love it. And why did you choose Cal? Because it was the only high major offer at the time? Because you said you had the mids and then that.
Illinois came.
Oh, they did?
They came.
Oh.
Once they didn't get Sharon. Sharon with the Kansas.
Yeah.
So they offered. Marquette offered down the stretch. DePaul offered down the stretch. But they all offered after they didn't get the people that they wanted. So I'm in my feelings. Like, you know, I'm not messing with y'all. You get what I'm saying? So the first school who showed interest in me was Cal. But it wasn't like, let me jump on this. You know, I had to do my research.
Yeah.
Pac-10 on that time was guard conference. Guard heavy. You get what I mean? You got,
this is 05, 06?
It's 06. 06,
yeah.
07. Like, you know, you got Aaron Brooks, you got Darren Collison, you got Jordan Farmer, you got some killers, bro. So at the end of the day, the assistant coach was, man, he was my dog. He was Dennis Gates. You know, he went to Whitney Young, he's from Chicago, he played at Cal, and he was at the game where I scored 44 points against the New York Gauchos. They still talk about it now today.
You dropped 44.
44 of them things.
Who was the guards on the Gauchos? Cause
I think Kimber was on that team. Yep, I think Kimber was on that team. Kimber Walker was on that team. If I'm not mistaken, they had we went into 3 overtimes.
Dang.
Yeah. And it was a play that we were down 3 points with like a second and a half. And we was on that end of the floor. And I caught it right by the free throw line and launched it. All net, boom. Went to the second overtime. It's crazy, man. It was
Is this
nuts.
on YouTube?
It had they used to have where we could go online and actually watch the games. So it's there somewhere, bro.
It might be in Synergy because this is
No,
what tournament?
No. This is probably 04. This is probably 04. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it's out there.
Okay.
The video is somewhere, man. It would be good to know like how we can get that footage. But yeah. Cal was different, bro. Like it was a different type of,
Culture shock for you at all? Like coming to Cali and
first day on campus. First day on campus, I meet my teammate Patrick Christopher, Ryan Anderson, and Taylor Harrison. We just walking down the street, and this is when I knew I had to change my Chicago mindset. We're walking down the street and someone bumped into me. You can't do that in Chicago. I am still in the Chicago mindset.
Right.
I went nuts. Because the toughness and how we have to be tough in the city of Chicago, it's not even normal. Like you don't even want to be in that type of mindset. Like it's scary. But the dude just accidentally bumped into me, and I'm just like, what the? Like I went nuts. Patrick and Ryan just kept walking. Now, mind you, in Chicago, you can't keep walking. If I'm ready to go, you got to be ready to go.
Facts.
But this is when I knew that I had to change. I felt so embarrassed because it's like, yo, I'm really tripping right now. I'm traumatized. Chicago has really put me in a mindset where I don't know how to turn off my ways of just protecting myself, because I always felt I had to protect myself. And it carried over to my relationships and everything. Protect you, or protect the people that you love, or all of these things. And that's how I carried myself. I didn't know no other way. I didn't. And once I saw that, and I'm looking at the dude face to face, like I'm about to haul off and hit this dude, and I just see them just walking. So I had to look. I just walked off. I wasn't gonna do that at home. Like I wasn't gonna be able to do it because I would have felt like a punk.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But that's, people don't understand the trauma and things that we went through as kids. Like we had to. That was just what life was during the time.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's good. So you had an awakening. First day of school.
First day.
And so I'm sure that helped you though along the way.
It did.
And,
It helped me.
How do you become the all-time leading scorer in Cal history? If I wanted to go and do that, how do I do that?
I don't know if I can tell someone how to do that. I used to write down in my notepad how many points that I would score each year. So I think that my first year was supposed to be like, realistically, I think I said 8 points. The second year was 13 points. The third year was like 15. Next year was like 20 or whatever the case is. And so I used to always look at that. And I definitely didn't average 10 my first year.
What did you average?
Maybe 7 or something like that. You know, I mean, I had some guys on the squad.
Right, no,
you
for
know
sure.
What I'm saying?
Yep.
So
that's still a lot as a freshman.
as a freshman, you know what I'm saying? It could have been less. I don't know, but I was all right. I was okay. But I was so locked into basketball, bro. Like I didn't want nothing else. And I think that separated me from a lot of people is because I don't think no one worked hard as me, bro. it was to the point where it was sickening. Like, I felt like it was hurting me, like mentally and physically, because I was working. I was working so hard, but I was escaping from something. I was trying to just get away from all the pain and everything that I was going through. So a pop's not being there, you know, mom them struggling still a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? I just had to run to that. I was getting high on my own supply. You know what I'm saying? And the coach, you know, Ben Braun, I mean, he was trying to teach me how to play the game. But I felt like he was holding me back at the same time.
Why?
Because I was looking at Tawan Porter from Oregon and saw that he was murdering. And I'm like, dude, like,
let me go.
you gotta let me rock, man. So, you know, just being immature, man. I was immature. I didn't really understand too much of anything, bro. Like, I was immature, and I just felt like I deserved to be where I was. Like, I should have been in a better situation. He should allow me to go out there and do this, which is not true. You know what I'm saying? That's an immature mindset.
Then what is true, or was true?
What was true is that he was trying to teach me how to read the game better. And I didn't understand it. I didn't, because I did just come from a team where I could do whatever the hell I wanted to do. You get what I'm saying? So he was trying to like slow me down a little bit, and I didn't understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I was a little defensive with certain things. Just end up not being what I thought it was. And, you know, sophomore year was the same thing, but I was ready to go. I was leaving Cal. I was out of there. Because I feel like, come on, it's sophomore year. I know I'm way better. I'm playing in the pro-am. I'm destroying guys every summer. But I feel like I was stagnant. So I was in a space like, dude, if he's gonna keep being a coach, like, I gotta go somewhere where I can rock. I know I can go and destroy. And I was gonna go to Florida State with Coach Ham. You know, but Ben Braun ended up getting fired. But once again, I was immature. Like, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see what was really going on. Like, you know, but Mike Montgomery came, and that's when things took off.
He let you go.
He let me go. He let me go.
And how'd your averages jump?
It jumped.
No,
It jumped. It jumped. I was on a tear, man. I was on a tear my junior year and senior year for sure. Like, I was on a tear. I mean, still think I got, you know, cheated out of the Player of the Year my junior year against James Harden, because I was killing that year. James Harden ended up getting it, but I was still on the tear, bro. I was on the tear. But yeah, I was so locked in, man. And my teammates, Jamal and Patrick, Theo, bro, we would be in the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, like putting up shots. Like, we were actually working, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think what separated me from a lot of them is that I didn't have to force to go get buckets. Like, it really came naturally to me.
It was easy.
It really was easy, because I knew I was faster than everybody. I was lifting heavy weights, so I was strong, and I was shooting that basketball like Steph. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was just to a point where I just knew that, dude, that's just what it was. I wasn't second guessing no shots. You know what I'm saying? If I saw it, I was shooting it. Like, you get what I mean? And I guess the confidence, you know, I built a different type of level of confidence within myself where I know that I'm gonna make this shot, or I'm gonna make the right decision. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Did I make the right decision to make every shot? Absolutely not. But that was the confidence I had in myself.
No, man. Like, your obsession with basketball is like, you admire it, but you keep on almost talking about it like it was a negative thing too.
Yeah.
Why do you see it that way?
Because I never got help from what I was running from. I didn't. I never got help. I never really, I never got help. I think Mental health is serious, bro. And I think people are now coming out and talking about it more now today than ever. And I feel like I ran from it for so long, but it was almost like, just like I said, basketball was my drug, it really was a drug. Because that was the only thing I knew how to run to, but I never was able to really get help for the things that was really bothering me. You get what I mean? So I'm sure it's different levels of what we're gonna talk about once I get to pro. Man, but it's almost like I don't wanna miss out on what I'm saying, so I gotta talk about it.
Yeah.
When I knew that it was like sickening, I start to actually get sick. So my sophomore year in college, I was diagnosed with a kidney disease, where they said that I wasn't gonna play basketball again. I had high blood pressure.
Right.
Like my kidneys was functioning at like 40-something%.
Right.
Like I didn't know how to turn it off. It was that bad.
Because you were just working out that much?
I was working, dude, I was going through it. I was really, really going through it. I just saw one of my cousins murdered right in front of my face. You know what I'm saying? And one of my closest cousins fell out on the basketball court, died. You know what I'm saying? In high school, I lost my closest cousin. You know what I'm saying? My first tattoo. He's the one who actually taught me how to play the game of basketball. He passed away. My grandfather ended up dying right after that. So things was just getting me to a point where it's like, damn, everybody I felt was close to me is like leaving, you know? And that's why you see me every time I, shoot my free throw, kiss my hand, touch my tattoo. It's because of my cousin. You know, so as time started to move on with the game of basketball, that's the reason why people judged me for how I competed, because they didn't know me.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? But then once you got to know me, or if you did know me off the court, then you knew that I would give you the shirt off my back. But how I competed was how I competed. I didn't know no other way, because I was running from something. My little brother asked me, he was like, bro, I wonder how you would have been if you didn't play with so much stress. He said, I don't even know how you were still great with everything that you was going through in your head and mentally.
Yeah.
And it's because I didn't think that I was doing anything wrong, because I wasn't hurting anybody. I wasn't doing drugs. I didn't drink. I was playing basketball.
Well, you were hurting somebody.
But I was hurting somebody.
Yeah.
I was hurting me.
Yeah.
You know, and I got sick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was, taking these kidney, pills and, herbal, medicines and things like that to try to heal myself. Like, and, eventually it actually did help me, and I was able to get back on the court, my sophomore year in Cal, because I didn't play the beginning of the year. I was out.
And you're the all-time leading scorer.
I know.
Yo, that's so wild.
Yeah. I ain't even look at it like that. I didn't even play the beginning of the year.
Man.
I missed some games.
Did the stress leave?
Stress never left.
Is it still here today?
Yes. Because I'm still trying to figure out life and people.
Yeah.
Because I'm still a little kid at heart. I still overly want to help people. I still overly feel like I can change certain people, and I can't fucking change nobody.
None of us can.
Because I'm struggling to, really change me. You know what I'm saying? And in 2020, dude, I went to Spain, and man, I always lift. always lift before games. It's my pre-game routine. And for some strange reason, that morning was a heavy fucking morning for me, like mentally, bro. Like it's actually putting me in, like I'm shaking right now. It's putting me in a space. I felt so weak. I mean, like another level weak. And I remember calling my brother. I'm like, yo, something ain't right. I don't feel right. He was like, you'll be good. Like, you'll be all right. Me lifting, I felt weak. Never felt like this before. And but I knew in my heart, it's like, it's a game. I can still go get 17 to 20 points just from knowledge alone. And it's my third day in Spain. It's like 15,000 people. And I'm going through this game, and I feel like this is my life story. I'm seeing it. I hear the crowd, but I do not hear the crowd. It's like being in a tunnel, but you hear like the wind going through the tunnel. And I'm having a game of, like, I'm having a fucking game. But I'm over-exerting myself. It's not natural. It don't feel natural. It feel like I'm overdoing it. And I feel it. I'm sweating to a whole nother level. It's like I'm like in withdrawals, like going through withdrawal. And I remember the third quarter, I blew past a guy. Nobody's by me, try to go for a layup, boom, ACL. I mean, by myself. Now, mind you, it was a very exhausting step, lazy step, things that I would actually never do. And when I was down, I feel like all of the pain and stress and hurt and backstabbing was just pouring out of me during that time. And the only person I could see is my daughter that was sitting right there in front of me. Because that was the only innocent person that I felt that really gave me true happiness was my girl, my daughter. And when I was laying there, I just felt like I'm listening to God just tell me, like, you need to sit down. It's time for you to rest. And I didn't know my mom used to always, and then I'm hearing my mom, boy, you move too much. You need to sit. You need to sit down. Like, you need to rest. You always on the move. You're always on the go. Because I felt like I was chasing something that I would never get. You get what I mean? And like I was really going through some mental health issues and really trying to figure it out. And the only thing that's helping me or helped me was giving back to the game.
Wow.
You know?
Man. How do I want to say this? Your like, you know what's going on with you, but you don't know how to find the help.
I don't.
I want to give you this just because I just know how my God works, our God works, is that, man, everything that you've been through and everything who made you become who you are is exactly who he wants you to be.
Yep.
Don't ever feel guilty for your giving heart, ever, because God made you like that. And that's why we have support systems to help keep boundaries for us. But who God made you to be is who he called you to be. So that's not a weakness that you give. That's who God called you to be. And always remember that he wants us to run back to him.
Yeah.
Whatever you're searching for is back in him, right? I don't have I never thought I struggled with, my parents split up when I was like 9 months. They got married when I was 3 months, split up when I was 9 months.
Yeah.
But then had a stepfather in my life who was there and, was in the home. But he worked a lot. We got to see him at night, weekends he was around. My dads took care of me by working and being present to an extent, right? But they never taught me anything.
Yeah.
Like, besides what I saw, the example they gave me. didn't think I had trauma or anything from that until I became a father. And I noticed patterns. Like, why am I doing this with my kids? And my wife would ask me these things. And I had to go back and see why and what. But through all of that, because I think we all got to go through that, right? That relationship with our Father reflects the relationship that we think where God is. But know that, like, God don't leave us. He's literally always with you. He's sitting here right now. He's sitting with you through your ACL tear. He's sitting with you through your mental health, through those thoughts. And so there's power in that. So that's where it starts, is sitting with God. And
I know, I feel that, I know that, like, you know, and it is a process.
Oh, for sure.
It's a serious process, but, you know, I pat myself on the back with not going into, like, a deep space of, like, just losing it sometimes.
No, I'm impressed.
You get what I mean?
For stress to sit on your body like it did. Not only that, just going back to the day that you got injured, like, you knew something was going on that day without even knowing something was going on. Like, your awareness of what's happening is very keen. And so that's important.
My body couldn't take no more of using it. Like, I couldn't use my body no more for what I was running from. And I think, to be honest, that was God just telling, like, dude, it's time to sit down. Like, I needed to sit down because I could have been in a position where I probably would have died on the court. That's how deep it was. So that needed to happen for me. You get what I mean? And I knew it was time to walk away from the game because I didn't want to retire. Like, I didn't have to. Like, why? I was still playing at a high level. Like, you get what I mean? But the way my career started to go after the injury was like, everything that could have went wrong. You know, I get back in 7 months. Now I'm back into my psyche. Like, I got back from an ACL injury in 7 months.
Fully recovered physically.
I signed a contract in Spain. Like, they offered me the contract 2 days after I tore my ACL. And I was only there for 3 quarters. I went crazy. Like, you know, the fans loved me. They was like, listen, we want to offer you right now. We want you to stay over here and get healthy with us, and we want you to stay here. And so I'm like, nah, I don't want to be in Spain. Like, I want to go home with my family, you know what I'm saying? And dude, I'm like, man, I don't know what the hell to do. So I was in a dark place. You know, married at the time, like, marriage went downhill, you know, for so many reasons. But dude, I locked in, man. I got back in 7 months and I signed to go back to Spain and play well to get my confidence back, and then sign a nice contract in Ukraine. The war hit in Ukraine.
That was recently, 2 years ago or so? So I'm hooping. I'm like, this is the time for me now to show people that, yo, he back. War hit, bam. Now, I never got a full year of just showing people, yo, he's back, because that's always been the thing. Like, is he healthy? I got tired of hearing it. Like, you know, like, yeah, I'm good. You know what I mean? So, age, you know, once you become a certain age in Europe, like, you know, they start to like, okay, maybe he's not gonna get this or this and that. So it just got to a point where I'm like, you know what? Forget it, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You know, let me lock into the most important person in my life, my daughter. You get what I mean? And it was important for me to walk away knowing that it was the best thing to do, because ultimately I feel like God wanted me to. You know, and it, for the first time in my life, I actually listened to him. Wow. How did that feel?
It was stressful. It was stressful, man. It's like, I think we all think that, everything that happens happened to us or for us, like we're doing it. Like it has nothing to do with us. You get what I'm saying? So I'm trying to learn how to do that with my everyday life.
Yep.
You get what I mean? Because I know I made the biggest decision for something that I love so much and overused. So for Jerome Randle to walk away from basketball, dude, come on, man. Because I'm still on the court right now. I know I can go and play.
Yeah.
But the love of the game is not there no more for me to go. Like, because I'm not, what am I playing for?
Yeah.
I can't heal doing that. Like, you know what I mean? I can't. It's gonna put me back in the same space I was before, because I wouldn't know how to turn it off. I'm gonna go back to just being an addict.
Hmm. So, really quick, because I don't want to. I love that you had to jump because it had to go. You had to tell that part of your story. Just give us the 2-minute drill everywhere you played overseas and your experience overseas.
Turkey, first year. I think it was Turkey second year. Dallas for a little while. Mavericks for a little while. Then went to Ukraine. In Belgium. Went to Belgium. And I was about to retire after that.
And then Spain happened.
Nope. I was gonna retire after Belgium, like my 3rd or 4th year overseas. I was ready to walk away. I couldn't deal with Europe no more. So unprofessional, like it had pay on time. It was just so much going on. And just the business side of everything, with who I had in my corner, was really driving me crazy. Like driving me crazy. Like all the stories that you hear about, the leeches and the people, like that's what I was dealing with. I was dealing with that.
Yeah.
And so on top of everything that I was dealing with already, I was dealing with that and family, and I'm the breadwinner. I got to do this and I have to do that. It was so much pressure. It was a lot. I was ready to walk away, and I couldn't deal with Europe no more. So I'm like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done with it. I can't deal with it no more. But my agent at the time was like, man, let's take you to Australia. Just get a different look. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just different scenery. And I'm like, man, don't nobody go play in Australia. I don't want to go over there. Like, you get what I mean? And I took the job for nothing, like no money. It's like 90 grand.
Oh, man.
Like, I've never made no shit like that before. But I'm like, I'm going to take a chance. And it ended up being the best decision I made in my life. Because the next year, it went up crazy. And I changed Australia basketball.
How?
Because no one would go over there.
Oh, you were like one of the first Americans to go over there.
Josh Childress went over there, but Josh Childress is Josh Childress. Like, you get what I mean? He's the name. He's not bringing excitement to the game. I came over and brought a different type of flavor to the game, and it was all on social media. So
who'd you play for?
I played for Adelaide.
Okay. Yep.
And the second year I ended up being MVP. And yeah, it was crazy, man. It was a dope experience. So I ended up playing 5 years in Australia.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, that was the bulk of your career.
Oh, for sure. Big time. It was amazing. Like, that was the best place I've ever played, for sure.
Me and my wife always talk about if we leave the U.S., we're moving to Australia.
That's where I wanted to move to, bro. I didn't want to go.
Let's go, man. We just need another family to go with us. We with it.
Go to Australia was dope, man. That was a dope spot, man.
Yeah.
It was a dope spot. It's a dope spot.
Awesome, Australia. So you talk about when you had your injury, you see your daughter, right? And that was kind of your saving grace, right? Like, that's what it's all about. How has the impact of being a parent, with your background, everything you've been through, and now as a parent, how does that make you?
I mean, man, you can just tell. I mean, cameras will show. Like even when you just saying something about it, like I just got the biggest smile. Like that little girl is like, dude, like everything to me. Like my baby girl Jerry is, man, she's like my heart. And she came at a time where I needed her. She was like, dude, she was a breath of fresh air. She was innocent, and she put me back in a space where she loved me for me and had nothing to do with what I did. You know what I'm saying? It was just, that's my dad. And so I had two things that I could run to during the time. I was going to the court, and the moment I stepped off the court, it's like, okay, reality again. But I'm running home to go to someone that made me the happiest person ever in the world, and that's my daughter. You know, and so just being a parent, you know, obviously put me in a position where I know I needed to get better, like with a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Because I can always lock into handling my business when need be. Like, you get what I'm saying? And I know that she's looking at me, and I can't crumble. There's no way that I'm gonna crumble. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I know that I'm only human, and you still gotta handle your business and make sure you taking care of the things you need to take care of mentally. You get what I'm saying? So she's helped me to really, really get through tough times, because I just look at her pictures or I just call her, just see her smile, and she just put me in a different space, man. Like even right now today, just put me in a different space, you know, so.
No, absolutely, man. Our kids do an amazing job of humbling us and just making you realize what's really important all in one. So that's awesome, man. And you know, as a black man, proud of you for not repeating the cycle.
Yeah.
Right? It's so important in our community that you're a father. Like, you're involved. I see you at her award ceremonies and all the little stuff, man. And so that's you know, just, hey, keep doing it.
Yeah, man, it's a beautiful thing, man. It's tough not being on that every day, because obviously, you know, not, you know, with her mom anymore, but it's important to try to figure out that time, man. Like, and it's not the same as waking up and seeing her every day. I mean, and I think that's something that puts me in a space, you know, because a lot of times I need to see her every day. Like, you know, actually I do. I wish I did, like, you know, but, you know, life again. It's life again. Life is gonna continue to throw you curveballs, and you gotta find a way to still knock it out the park. Yeah. You know, so.
Yeah. So you've transitioned, you've retired from the game, and you moved into this training space, and then you moved to the mecca. You're right, the development space, and you moved to the mecca of basketball, LA. The mecca of basketball, LA. What did you know that you were going to go into this space after you retired, or?
Yeah, I knew right away. This is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like when I was playing basketball in Australia, I would do tours around Australia for camps for kids.
Okay.
I have a game on Thursday or Saturday. I had a camp on Sunday. So big game on Saturday, big camp on Sunday. Man. You know, so dude, my reach when it comes to the youth has started when I was playing. So I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Like, you get what I mean? Like, it was there. It was there for me. God has given me a platform to really, like, help people around the world, you know? And I started during the time my Jerome Randle brand over there, and people were walking around in the malls, man, like wearing JHR like it was Nike. You get what I mean? And it was so humbling, man. But dude, I was really, really helping a lot of people, you know, in Australia. And so, I knew exactly what I wanted to do, because I knew I had so much to give to the game, you know, but the mental side as well. Like, I want to be able to help kids get through that mental, you know, side of the game, because that's probably 80% of you know, being great, the game of basketball.
Especially now, everybody got skills.
Everybody have skills. Skills is nothing really if you mentally not prepared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I see a lot of high school kids bro, even pros,
Yes.
even
Yes.
pros struggling with it.
Yeah, because they're kids themselves.
They're kids.
And like you said, like you're taking what you went through and you were able to fight through it and still have a career, make a career out of it. And trying to help somebody before they get to, you know, to the levels that you were at. You know?
Yeah, and it's not easy, bro. Like but I commend people for still fighting the fight, you know, because it's so many people that are people. And when I mean our people, I mean everybody, not a race. I mean everybody, our people, figuring it out. And a lot of people don't figure it out and they go to something else, which ultimately destroy them, you know, drugs and alcohol and all them different things. So the people who's actually strong enough to deal with it, I mean, get through it, you know what I'm saying? Those are like the 1%ers, you know? Those are the 1%ers.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't want any kid that I work with or I'm teaching and developing to go through that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We don't play the game of basketball, and I tell a lot of parents, you play the game of basketball because it prepares you for life. Yeah. If God blesses you to be a professional athlete, that's a plus. Like, but the game of basketball teach you life skills.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're disciplined on the court, disciplined off the court, you're disciplined on the court, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Same thing we talked about earlier. It's life skills, knowing how to work with people, knowing how to take constructive criticism or advice from, you know, coaching. That's has everything to do with life. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't make it pro, like that's okay. It's okay. Lock in to whatever that sport is because it will prepare you for everyday life. That's why a lot of companies like to talk to athletes and, you know what I'm saying? Because how we lock in.
Yep.
And that's the same thing, you know, people working at a corporate job have to do, man. You got to lock in. It's nothing different. It's just a different, you know, it's just, you know.
Playing and not playing, yep.
That's all.
Yeah. So you have your brand, Unlimited. What does Unlimited mean and why did you choose that? The logo's dope, by the way.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. What does the infinity sign mean to you? Infinity.
Infinity?
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever.
I mean, the simplest way, yeah.
Simplest way. So when you think of, okay, I have you here. Unlimited is spelt in a unique way. It's unique. And what I mean by this is my life story. Uniquely, I feel like we all are unique in a lot of ways. I feel like I was a unique person just because of the things that I've been through, and I was able to get through them. You know, like teachers and, you know, mentors and everyone. This, man, you're a unique kid. Like, you get what I'm saying? So there was always something that was stuck in my mind. And so now I'm just basically giving you the rundown of everything that we actually talked about, which ties into what Unlimited is. And the N stands for navigate. During the process of going through everything that I was going through, I had to find a way to navigate through it, which was very difficult to do, you know. But I was able to navigate, you know, through that. Life is, no matter what you do, you still gotta go through fucking life, man. Like, life is gonna be life, and just like everybody say, like, no matter, like, it's just gonna happen. You can't control it. You have no control over life, and that's just what it's gonna be. The mode, this is an M, but it's the infinity sign. You know, mode is Miss Foster, Coach Starks, you know, all of these different people who came into my life to help mold me to be the person that I am. And it started at a young age. You know what I'm saying? And without them, like, I couldn't even fathom of being who I am today, because they really helped mold me to be the person I am today, because it starts when you're young. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And we both know that. It starts when you're young. Yep. How you were raised and the respect level, you know, people being very tough on you. And I love that my uncle's like that with my nephew. It's just like, yo, no, get up. This is what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand what it takes to be successful. I'm not trying to, I don't care about the relationship right now. I care about me teaching you how to be a man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The relationship right now is not that important. What I teach you to prepare you for life is. You know what I'm saying? Tenacity. Being able to grasp onto what it is that I really wanted. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I didn't want anything else but to become a basketball player. You know? So I really took a love and liking everything to just writing that contract with myself and just say, this is what I want. And I'm not gonna let a woman or anybody to come in between it, because that's what I wanted for me. The E is for endurance. Dude, to really be good at something, you gotta be a little psycho.
You gotta be a little crazy.
You gotta be a little crazy.
Yep.
So a lot of people wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you know, or you wake up or someone is telling you to wake up. You know, for me, once I got up, once God allowed me to, you know, see the light of day again, it was on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had so much energy because I had a task. Mm-hmm. So the endurance that I had to really go out and get it, no matter if it worked or not, it was instilled in my mind to really go out and just go. Right. You know what I'm saying? So I had so much endurance and energy to just go out and just put my best foot forward, whether I made it or I didn't. You get what I mean? Determination, it's basically the same. I was really locked in and determined to be a big brother. Because I had two little brothers, Jeremy and Jamie, and I have a little sister, Bianca, and I have an older sister, Ontaria. And I was determined to make sure that the choices that I made was all ultimately going to be something that I knew that they could look up to and be like, okay, my brother did this. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I made sure the decisions that I made high school when I was around them, you know, it was always on the up and up, you know, and working hard, you know, National Honor Society, and being successful just from putting the work in, that they were going to have someone to look up to. So I was determined to just be great at everything that I did because I wanted them to ultimately have somebody to look up to.
Dope.
Yeah.
Dope. Way different meaning than I thought. Yeah. And I like it, man. It means something more. What now as a developer and with the platform that you have, you know, what can we see from Jerome Randle and Unlimited and everything?
Ultimately, I travel a lot. I travel all over the world and do clinics and camps. But ultimately, I want hundreds of people to be under the Unlimited brand. You know, I pray every day for God to enlarge my territory. Yeah. You know, the Book of Jabez is something that, you know, I took a liking to. And I pray for God to enlarge my territory so I could inspire people all over the world. But during the midst of that, I have to be right in order to do that. And that goes back to what we were talking about, right? So what I pray for is for people to appreciate what it is that I do, to want to teach the game the way that I teach the game, you know? So Unlimited is not a brand, it's a lifestyle. Like, you know, it's a mentality. It's almost like Mamba mentality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? To lock in, to understand the things that you have to do to prepare yourself for your day, you know, to become a great person first. You know what I'm saying? You know, a son, father, whatever, daughter, athlete, you know, all of those things. And I want that to be something that when people see it, they automatically know the type of mentality they have to go to.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Man, I know there's so much more to your story.
Yeah, man,
and this is episode 1. I'm just telling y'all now, he coming back. But no, man, thank you for sharing, brother, and being vulnerable in this space and letting the people know. I think there's someone who is like you who needs to hear that you can get through.
For sure.
And to listen to that voice and to just be grounded. And the mentors out there, like, be a mentor to these kids. Sure. There's so many strong lessons in your journey and your story, man. So, man, appreciate you sharing.
Appreciate it, no doubt.
We're going to move to our next segment. All right, my Rushmore, and I'm throwing a tough one at you. It may not be tough for you. Top 4 Chicago guards of all time.
No order.
Just top 4. Yep, doesn't matter the order.
Derrick Rose, Will Bynum. I'm not gonna put myself in it because I will always put myself in it. But I'm gonna just
put yourself on that mountain, man. Stop playing.
Jerome Randle and Darian McKinstry.
Shout out to Bestie. I like it. All right, so I don't know nothing about Chicago like he knows. My 4, I'm probably gotta go D Rose for sure. Angel Santiago.
Oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
You slept on him. Man, I think I have to go Jerome Randle.
Talk to me nice.
Talk
to me
from
nice.
what I like. This
I was gonna walk out this motherfucker.
And my 4th, man. Might be Sharon Collins though. I lived in Kansas for a while, so during those years, so Sharon Collins.
You said 5, he would have been there, but my boy is like Sharon is. That dude is like all world to me, dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
He's tough.
But I played alongside my best friend Darren McKinstry, so I was able to see how he was able to just lock in, bro. So totally different, what I saw. But Sharon is definitely in there for me too.
Yeah. Shout out Mike Price, my young fella.
Okay, Mike. Little Mike. Yeah.
And then next up, JoJo. Look it.
Joe Jeezy.
All right, fix the net. This is gonna be interesting, I think.
Okay.
A misconception about Jerome Randle that you want to make straight. So let us know what it is, but you're gonna make straight and get the bucket.
Misconception about Jerome Randle is that he's not approachable.
You be looking mean.
Yes.
Talk about it.
It's my neutral face. But it's something that I need to work on because of the people that I'm around. But I literally mean no harm to people because I'm a people's person. Yeah. If you've been around me, then you know how I am with people. But I think the way I walk around, in the grand scheme of things, I could still be holding on to a Chicago mentality. That through my healing process will ultimately start to make me relax a little bit. I don't want people to think that I'm not approachable because I am approachable. A lot of people, youngsters that send me messages on Instagram and everything, and I respond like, I can't believe you responded. It's like, dude, I'm not no different than you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's something that people, the misconception of that I'm not approachable.
I think you putting your story out and like explaining at least Southern California listens to this show, there's gonna be a different tune. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard nothing but great things about everybody I talked to. Like, no, you need to get Jerome. Jerome is dope. And we said what's up. We keep it pushing. It's like there's no like. I don't judge people off the way they look or whatever. Yeah. But knowing you is like, I want to come and talk to you. I want to hear about your experiences and all your hoop knowledge. And we didn't even get on, like, there's a huge topic of being a short guard and making it, you know what I mean? Sure. And doing what you did at your size. Like, we're going to come on here and just talk hoop one day. because there's so much. I think there's so much in that as well. Like so.
Definitely NBA. We didn't. Yeah, we definitely didn't talk
I know.
about
You had a cup of coffee
That's
in
why
the
we gotta,
NBA.
we
it's
gotta
a lot
talk
of basketball
about.
we got to
It's
talk
a lot
about.
of ball we need to talk about. So why do I dunk this
You
joint?
could do whatever you want. It's gonna stay on the wall. There we go.
My bad.
No, you good. And this is where we flip the script.
Yep.
So you're the interviewer now. 2 questions from me. Could be about anything in the world.
Okay. Why did you decide to come to the Breakfast Club or Breakfast Lab this morning at 6 a.m.?
So last week I saw a post. They were coming off the side pick and roll, and they were hedging, and I just loved how they were getting after it. And I was like, dang, I need it. And all those kids were in core, so it's always like cool to just check in on them and see what's going on with them. And like I just saw that, and I'm like, man. And then I saw JoJo this weekend at Pangos, and I'm like, man, I'm about to go to the Breakfast Club. Yeah. It was just like literally, that was it, man. And I'm glad I did. I love that intensity, that environment. That's what I grew up in. Yeah. And the space my business is in, because I have a school and I'm with these kids for 10 months and we're a class and they got to go to English or science or Bible class after we're done training them, there's a certain level of intensity that we can't get to because they're in school. Yeah. And man, I need to get back to that because that's what I was raised and that's how I trained. Like my kids now are skilled, they have IQ, and they have consistency. Yep. They know how to work. I love it. But the dog in them, if you go back to my earlier training days, those dudes were, Jawan Harris Dyson was a dog because we can get after it. You know what I mean? Like, so it was just good to be in that space again, man. I enjoyed it. So, and you're teaching. Yeah. You're not in this, not basketball. Yes, you're teaching basketball, but you're teaching like life. Like you said, so very enjoyable environment, man.
Appreciate it.
And I smoked all y'all in that race, yo, slow young people.
Yeah, he did smoke a lot of them. So, the basketball has changed tremendously, as we all know. It's changing in front of our eyes. Me personally, I don't think it's for the greater good. For kids to be getting paid in high school and things like that. I think the focus is not the same, or it doesn't prepare them. I think business-wise, it prepares them, but I think when you're a young kid, you shouldn't get things too early. And now that everyone is making money in college and now high school, they walk around differently. They talk to you differently. They don't take direction no more. It's easy for them to walk away from situations because I don't have to deal with you. I don't have to listen to you. You're not catering to what I want you to do. So I'm gonna go somewhere. Who's gonna pay me? How do you feel that that's really hurting the culture of basketball?
I think we're in the worst of it right now. I think because it's new, that it's gonna be abused and there's gonna be some regulation on it, and then it's gonna get to where it needs to be. Yep. I think a lot of people are getting paid right now because it's the thing. I think people are going to continue to get paid, but I think it's going to like taper off. Yeah. Where literally the elite of the elite are getting paid, but there's also need to be an education system 100%. That they need to go through and how to manage this money, how to handle their business and all that, because that's not happening at all. It's not happening, and so I think we're in the worst of it because it's so new and people are abusing it, meaning the leeches, the business managers, the NIL companies. Parents. Man, there's an NIL company, I ain't gonna say what NIL company. They're literally giving kids like bad record deals. I'm gonna front you $180K for you to get, for you to pay me back $500. Are you serious? Like to a 20-year-old? Like, I don't even get that. Yeah. Like, and so we're in the worst of it because I feel like there's gonna be regulations and stuff that's gonna, get around all these collectives and NIL people, and hopefully there needs to be a licensing process for the NIL people. Sure. Like, Karina can go and just be an NIL agent right now.
Yeah.
She don't know nothing about it. She goes, oh, I'm your NIL. Do you know somebody NIL? Sorry. No, okay, I didn't think so.
said no.
And so, so, like, I think that's gonna come. So I don't like where it's at, and that's where that's what I'm on. Is educating people on
sure.
all of that. Where's your business structure?
Yeah.
Who's your accountant? Who's doing your bookkeeping?
Yeah.
Like, all that stuff is super important to me, and that's literally my other business, the basketball firm. That's what we do. We're educating families on how to handle all of this from the day you start playing through high school, college, pros, whatever it is. We want to give you that information.
Because it's needed.
Oh, man.
It's needed to a whole nother level, man. 100%. It's definitely needed. So
100%.
Yeah.
Karina, you got something? D-Mac?
Uh-oh.
Are you coming back to the Breakfast Club?
On Wednesdays, I'll be there for sure. That's all I can say right now. I have kids that I train in the morning that the times don't match up. But Wednesdays, I will be at the Breakfast Club.
You got to give us something a little more spicy than that.
For you, Jerome, if you got a call from Australia or any other team overseas saying that they want you back, would you go?
No.
Why not?
Because I know that my calling is something else right now. And I have been receiving offers for the last year, actually, now. And I can't lie to you and say that it's not hard. It's very difficult. But I'm going to be honest. If I had a chance to go play in Australia for the last time, I will for sure entertain that. I would. I think that would be the only place I would actually say, you know what? I need these 6 to 7 months to go and play in Australia.
Yeah.
But I would need to probably have my daughter, you know what I mean, to take my baby. And yeah, that would be a great way of me actually putting the game to bed.
For you, Todd, how do you feel when you come back to the gym like this morning to see like 8 of your kids that went to core prep play the way that they play and to be receiving the notoriety that they're all getting at some point? How does that make you feel?
Like a proud father. Like, I just like seeing them develop not only just as basketball players, just as young men. Like a player telling me, yeah, coach, I ain't talked to a girl in like 8 months. I'm focused, and talking to me about life, like them maturing and just spiritually reading their Bible and stuff that we planted seeds that they're just carrying out and that we just check on, and they're doing it. And that was a very special group. Those kids in there, I think they're all 27. It was just a very special group because of their competitiveness. And now they're more athletic, and they're in an environment where you gotta be intense. And so, yeah, man, I'm excited to see. I'm more excited to see when they're juniors and seniors. Like them freshman and sophomore years, like those are dope. It's cool, and they're accomplishing things. But when they fully grown into their body and they get the ball in their hands, that's what I always look forward to. So it's always amazing.
Dope.
Nice.
Good word.
That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
No,
That's great.
This is mainly for Jerome. I think we talked about this one time. I realized like late last year that my favorite people always happen to be from Chicago. Because I'll just hear stories or the way they talk. I'm like, man, they're so dope. And they make me feel safe at home, whatever it is, and like inspired. Then they'll be like, yeah, I'm from Chicago. And I'm like, why? Like, how is it that you guys are all from Chicago? And like, same thing. Dwayne Wade was my favorite player from Chicago. My favorite artist.
Dang, we forgot about Dwayne Wade, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say something.
Well, was he that
but
good in high school though?
No, he was overlooked as well.
Okay,
Yeah,
just saying.
he talked about that.
Yep.
But it's like artists, the greatest, like the ones that we are inspired by, but also like there's a humility aspect, and there's also the, like you guys say, like the dog in them. You spoke to it a little bit about how it applied into the basketball court, but I'm like, as humans, what do you think it is, bigger picture about Chicago, that you guys are all these incredible human beings?
Well, it's 2, maybe 3 different layers of Chicago people, okay? If you meet me inside of Chicago, you probably won't feel the same way about me. I'm just being honest. Because when I step foot in Chicago, I'm not the person that you probably see right now. I am, but he don't come out because I have to be a different person there. So when I'm in Chicago, the people that's around me, I have to protect, right? So if I'm always in protective mode, number 1 of myself, number 2 of the people that's around me, number 3 of my family, or whatever the case is, when we leave, now we're able to really go outside of ourselves and really explore who we truly are. And so you getting Chicago people inside of Chicago that's able to show you how we actually are during the midst of like all of the danger and the protection. So we all are protectors at heart. So once you get to know us, because we all standoffish or caged in a little bit, like, you know what I'm saying? But once you get to know us, it's like you're family now. We don't know no other way but to make you a part of our family once we trust you. It's hard to trust in Chicago because we always in the mentality, like I said, when I was on campus, you bump into me, like I'm already thinking that you're trying to, do something to me. But the moment I trust you is the moment I love you. And we don't know no other way but to be that way. You know what I mean? So I think that's why Chicago, people are alike, like we are.
I love Chicago people.
No, I get along with all. Yeah, I get along with everybody from Chicago.
And it's always like it's that beautiful balance. I thought it was like, my first theory was Midwest humility and home-like aspect, but then also city life. So you guys aren't as like closed off. Like you guys are open-minded and like very. But
it's different. It's just a different. It depends on the person, or depends on why you left Chicago in the first place. You get what I'm saying? It's people leave Chicago because they're trying to escape from something else, which obviously they're gonna leave and be the same people. But we left because, our careers, put us in a position where we can leave. We're doing something to get out of there, which is great, a good thing. But a lot of people who leave, man, they still the same. They still in that, we call it no love city. That's what we call Chicago, no love city. I mean, Chirac, but that's the young kids, whatever. Yeah, I don't call it that.
Crazy. You guys are the most loving people to be from.
Hopefully, I wish a lot of people wouldn't.
Man, you better stop boo-booing on LA. Listen, people who are originally
First of all,
from
I'm
LA,
from
no,
here.
I don't want to hear this.
I'm
People
from
who
the
are
Valley,
originally
let me be
from, I'm
clear.
not hating on Chicago, I'm just saying people who are originally from LA are cool people too. It's the
Yeah.
transplants that give LA a bad name because they come here looking for stuff.
But I'm from Chicago.
So there we
Let me
go.
tell you about Chicago. When Chicago people give love, they don't take it back. That's what it is.
When did you move to LA?
When I was 12.
Oh, see, you from LA.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah, you from Chicago. But no, see, you got
by
that.
way of Chicago.
Yeah. Right.
You're right. Once you get love, and that is it, like 100%. You don't take it back. And it's easy to manipulate Chicago because, like, we see through, like, you know what I'm saying? You can do something and be like, I still love you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But if you fuck us, you will understand.
This is the first episode I feel comfortable with cussing, and I don't know why.
Because it's love.
I didn't know. That's
No,
my
you
bad.
good. No. Because I usually, I would have said something, but there's an authenticity. Thank you. Yeah, everybody else is saying it for me, and I appreciate it. Is that I don't know. It's purpose-driven cussing. Is what I want to say, and it speaks to who you are.
Yeah.
It's not for, I don't know. It's authentic, and so I want that, and maybe that's part of our rebrand as we move throughout this. Is like 24-second shot clock. That's your camera. Tell the people where they can find you and any message you have for 'em.
Handle by Randle, Instagram. I don't be on Twitter. What else? Website is unlimited.basketball. Gym, okay, Cheviot Hills. It's in the making right now, but 3200 Motor Ave in Cheviot Hills. All right, lock in with me. Go on the website, Handle by Randle, Instagram. Give me a call at 777-9311.
Appreciate you, dog.
My dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.